moving into more of the adult or customizing area for your catch gloves, taking a look at the different types of models. I know people often talk about different T sizes where the break is, different degrees that a catch glove might be in. Kind of following the theme of Reebok CCM and their ability to customize your equipment for your game. What can we touch on today about the catch glove?
Okay, it's a great question. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there on catch gloves when you start to talk about a 60-degree break, a 90-degree break. People talk about 580s, 590s, 600s, all those kinds of things. And I think that there's a lot of misinformation as to what those really mean. Basically, when they're talking about like a 60-degree or a 90-degree break or somewhere in between, they're talking about where the glove breaks from here to here, all right? And typically, almost everything that we have on the market now is what we call a 60-degree break. You know, your 90s would be kind of like straight like this, and your 60s would be more like this, and just about everything's within 5 degrees of 60-degree break. But what there's a lot of talk about is a 580, a 590, and a 600. So that is the angle of how you play. So if you're a goaltender that plays with his hands out like this, typically you may want a 600-degree break. If you're a goalie that plays with his hand like this, you may want a 590. If you're a goalie that plays like this, you may want a 580. It all depends. It's the angle of the catch surface to the shooter, how it sits and how it lays. Where does it feel comfortable? Just, you know, get in your ready position, put your hand out. Where is that glove the squarest? And you should try on a 580, a 590 and see how that sits to the shooter. That's what your 580, 590, 600 breaks are. Now, the second big difference between those breaks is how does the glove close on your hand? So when this glove closes, I like to describe a 590 as it closes from thumb to pointer finger or middle finger or in between. So when you close the glove, your hand kind of goes like this. And as you go to the 580, it actually moves up for sure into your pointer finger, 590 maybe into your middle finger, and then your 600, kind of like all your fingers close to the fat of your hand. All right, so it's how you like that glove to pull around. So when I put on a 590 break and I go to close this, I feel like I'm going like this, like I'm just closing my hand together like this. When I put on a 600 break, then what happens is I feel like I'm pulling the glove, the whole back of the glove together like this to make it look like this, all right? And then there's shapes of your gloves. So this glove, as you're looking at the glove, you can see that it's kind of more of an oval shaped. This is our CCM Extreme Flex shape. And then when you go to our P4 shape, as you can see, this is more kind of a dish. It's more rounded, all right? And that's all just personal preference too. Some kids, you know, they like to shoot the puck better with this. The one thing I would hinge against is buy a catch glove that catches really well for you. Don't buy a catch glove that you can shoot well with. Sure, as a goalie coach, you're looking for the guys to catch it. Small part of the game, yes. Worry about stopping it first, shooting it next. Yes. So that's kind of my theory on that. Then once you get into the shapes of the T's and how everything works from there, again, that's personal preference. How do you like the puck to feel when it hits into your pocket? Do you like it to go deep and feel like it snaps in there? Do you like it to slide around and have a little more control? We have a glove that's kind of making a little bit of a comeback that actually Justin used back in his day when Reebok goalie equipment was actually called Coho. Justin was a Coho user, and we had a glove that we call the 580. And the 580 is a much different shape, and this was developed by Patrick Waugh many years ago. He was the first real big, played on the ice all the time. And what happened is people always shot here. This was his hole, all right next to his head. So he wanted to cheat and develop a catch glove that actually was predisposed to cover that area that they shot. So he would play with his catch glove like this, and this pocket closed here so that he would close this area quicker. So you can see this pocket is much different than this pocket when I'm here. So it really, he was developing, he was enhancing the product to fit his game, which is why we give you 3 choices as well.